Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news all right, Eagles fans. Let's dive into some explosive news that's been buzzing around the league lately. It's something that could potentially reshape the Philadelphia Eagles' defense and consequently their entire trajectory heading into the 2025 season. And trust me, it's a move that's got everyone talking in the NFL circles. So, what's the big story? Well, rumors are swirling that the Eagles are in serious discussions. Yes, serious discussions, to sign none other than Von Miller, the veteran edge rusher who's been one of the most feared pass rushers in the league over the past decade. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Von Miller, isn't he getting a little long in the tooth? But hear me out, because this isn't just about adding an old star to the roster. It's about strategic, calculated moves that could push Philly even higher up the ranks of the NFL's elite defenses. And with the Eagles already known for their aggressive, disruptive style on defense, adding a player like Miller might just be the missing piece to keep them at the top. Now, let's rewind a little and look at what's happening with the Eagles roster. The team has undergone some significant changes this offseason, especially on defense. Losing key players like Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson was no small feat. Sweat in particular was a crucial part of the defense, especially during the Super Bowl run where he recorded a career-high 5 sacks against the Kansas City Chiefs. His departure to Arizona has left a gap that needs filling, someone who can bring leadership, experience, and a relentless edge rush to keep the pressure on quarterbacks. And that's where Von Miller enters the scene. Philadelphia's defense, under head coach Nick Sirianni and coordinator Sean Desai, has already shown that they're willing to adapt and evolve. They've invested in coaching talent, bringing in Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator, someone who's familiar with Miller, having coached him in Denver. Fangio's defensive schemes are known for maximizing the talents of versatile pass rushers, and he might see Miller as the perfect fit for a rotational role, especially in obvious passing situations. Now, let's talk about Miller himself. This guy is no stranger to the big stage. At 36 years old, he's got a legendary resume that includes 5 sacks, 446 solo tackles, and 2 Super Bowl championships. One with the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 50, where he was named MVP, and another with the Los Angeles Rams. That Super Bowl MVP performance was one of the most dominant defensive showings in NFL history, with Miller logging 5 sacks and forcing 2 fumbles. When you think about leadership, experience, and clutch playmaking, Miller checks all those boxes. Sure, he's not the same player he was at 26, but he still has plenty to offer, especially in situational snaps. In 2024, he managed to rack up 6 sacks, showing that he can still be a disruptive force, particularly in key moments. What makes this move even more appealing for the Eagles is the role Miller could play. Philadelphia's front office, led by the shrewd Howie Roseman, has always prioritized strategic veteran additions, players who can step in during the playoffs, elevate the entire defense, and mentor the younger stars. Nolan Smith Jr. and Jalix Hunt are promising talent, but they still need guidance and experience to reach their full potential. Miller could serve as a mentor, a locker room leader, and a clutch performer when it counts most. His presence on the field could boost the confidence of the entire defensive unit, allowing the Eagles to maintain their reputation as one of the NFL's most formidable defenses. And now, let's pause here for a moment because this is the part where I want to emphasize how important it is for fans like us to stay engaged. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Okay, that little reminder is out of the way, but it's crucial because the more support we get from you guys, the more content we can bring, and trust me, there's a lot to analyze when it comes to the Eagles' future. Now, back to the story. The potential signing of Von Miller isn't just about adding a player, it's about defining a strategy. The Eagles have shown they're not in a rebuild mode. They're in a retooling phase, tweaking their roster to maximize their Super Bowl window. After winning their second Lombardi Trophy in 7 years, the team's core is still relatively young, but experienced enough to contend again. The addition of a veteran like Miller could tip the scales in their favor, especially considering his hunger for a third Super Bowl ring. Players like him, who are chasing legacy and championships, tend to elevate their teams in crucial moments. With fewer seasons ahead of him, Miller's motivation to contribute at the highest level is undeniable. He's no longer a full-time starter every game, but his role as a situational rusher and leader could be exactly what the Eagles need to push through tough playoff defenses. Another aspect worth mentioning is how Miller's experience and leadership could influence the younger players in the locker room. Nolan Smith Jr., Jalix Hunt, and others are talented, but their growth depends heavily on mentorship and the right environment. Having a player like Miller, who's been through multiple playoff runs, Super Bowl moments, and high-pressure situations, could be invaluable. His presence could help the Eagles develop a more consistent pass rush, especially in late-game scenarios when every sack and turnover counts. It's that kind of experience that can turn a good defense into a legendary one, and the Eagles are certainly aiming for that level again. Let's also consider the bigger picture. The Eagles' front office, led by Howie Roseman, has always been strategic. They're not just looking to fill gaps, they're looking to add pieces that fit their long-term vision. Signing Miller at this stage wouldn't just be about this season, it's about setting up a defense that can sustain success over the next few years. Miller, with his championship DNA, can serve as a bridge to the future, helping develop the next generation of pass rushers while still contributing meaningful snaps. Plus, his familiarity with Vic Fangio's defense adds an extra layer of synergy. Fangio's schemes are designed to maximize the talents of versatile players, and Miller's skill set fits perfectly into that mold. And let's not forget the financial aspect. While Miller's contract might seem hefty at first glance, his market value is actually quite reasonable given his production and experience. The Bills releasing him freed up cap space for the team, but for the Eagles, signing a veteran like him might be a low-risk, high-reward scenario. It's about smart, savvy moves that maximize return on investment, something Roseman has always excelled at. The Eagles are known for their ability to find value in veteran free agents, and Miller's leadership and production could come at a price that fits their budget, especially if negotiations are handled carefully. Now, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, the Eagles are in a prime position. Their roster is one of the most talented in the league, their coaching staff is innovative, and their culture of winning is strong. Adding Von Miller could be the final piece to elevate their defense into a dominant force once again. Imagine a defense with Miller rushing the passer in key moments, combined with the young, emerging talents like Nolan Smith Jr. and Jalix Hunt. It's a recipe for disaster for opposing quarterbacks and a nightmare for offensive coordinators trying to scheme against Philadelphia. The NFC East, known for its tough defenses and gritty football, could see a new king rising if this move materializes. But of course, nothing is official yet. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and teams often keep their cards close to the chest. Still, the signs point to a very real possibility that the Eagles are making a serious push for Von Miller. And if they succeed, it could set the stage for an exciting, competitive season ahead. The team's fans, and all of us who follow this franchise closely, should be thrilled at the prospect of seeing such a legendary player don the midnight green once again. It's about winning, legacy, and keeping the dream alive for another shot at the Super Bowl. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Von Miller is the missing piece? Are you excited about the possibility of him teaming up with the young pass rushers and veteran leaders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We've got a lot more to unpack, from draft picks to training camp battles, and of course, game analysis. This is your go-to channel for everything Eagles, so make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and keep the passion alive. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Birds.